Hello there everyone, and welcome back to my next episode playing on the Realm of Vasten server. I am Mar, and we are standing outside the library as always. That's my intro. I think that's going to be my intro for the rest of my life, because this build is so big. As you can see, I've made significant progress. We now have 2 towers completely built up to at least that level. Of course, we will have to take it higher eventually. And if you look really closely on either side of my head, you can see the spires that are kind of like the frame or the shell of the other 2 towers on the back side of the library. And if you look on either side of my little figure, you'll also notice I put in some nether brick slabs going up the side of the library, almost like spines or ridges. Let me know what you think of those. Man, the nether brick, and for that matter the iron, is getting to be really expensive because I'm using nether brick in all of the walls, and you can see the towers themselves have a bunch of nether brick. It's kind of hard with the sun because it's casting the light on everything, but that right there is a pillar of nether brick walling, and that there's a pillar like that. There's like, what, 8 of them on every single tower from there all the way up to there. Here up to there. I'm going to need them on the other 2 towers. We've got these giant nether brick things going on here. These are nether brick slabs. Oh man, there's so much nether brick. And then every single one of the lanterns, all the iron bars. That's a lot of iron and nether brick that is going into this build. I have had to go to the nether so many times to harvest some nether brick. It's just ridiculous. I've pretty much destroyed an entire fortress over there. Now today, I'm kind of not really burnt out, but man, I've been doing a lot of building off screen because like I've shown a lot of the updates on this as we went along, but having to replicate it 4 times, well 3 times, that's pretty monotonous. So I've been doing a lot of building off screen, trying to add in the other towers. Especially at least one of them, because I would like to try and build some sort of bridge between them if I am able to. Oh man, the lag is getting to me too. It's pretty crazy. I've tried to do some troubleshooting. I don't know if the storage system is contributing to it, which it could be. I've done a little bit of troubleshooting over there to try and mitigate that, but it doesn't. I don't know. It like eating is sometimes quick like that, and sometimes if I'm lucky, I can get, look, see, elytra lift off right away. Over there, I practically fell to my death. Well, you know, exaggerated, but trying to get an elytra lift off, the closer you are to the city, the worse it is. I don't know. Let's see. Nope. Oh, I just fell. Just rocked. Just fell like a rock down there. Also, I'm getting a lot of pillagers. Like, a crazy amount of pillagers. I need to, go around and kill them all, I guess, but it's gonna give me bad omen, and we do have villages around here, so kinda gotta be careful about that. Like, actual villages. Because I remember seeing a whole bunch of them down like here-ish a little while ago. I think there's a whole bunch inside the tunnel down there. It's kinda hazardous. But anyway, in today's episode, I don't really want to work a whole lot on building. I want to get your guys' feedback on the nether brick slabs that I've got going up here. Let me know what you think of those. Let me know just in general how it's looking. Like, if you have any ideas of other things I could add to give it some more character or, you know, variation in the build, something to make it interesting. Details, basically, if you have any idea for details. Now, of course, out here on this flat area, this is still to be worked on, you know, judging by the torch spam. Right now, it's just the sides of the library that I want to focus on. This will actually probably be one of the last things I work on. So yeah, the sides of the towers definitely need some detailing, so if you have any ideas at all, throw them out, and I'm willing to try pretty much anything if I can manage to pull it off. Also, I added in, if we run upstairs here real quick, and I'm really glad that I have stairs going up and down, because with the elytra thing the way it is, sometimes it can be really difficult to get a lift off, like I was saying. So over here, I know we got our storage, and this is the first tower I built, the one that's on the side of the rest of Port Bray, basically. And we've got our water elevator here. I did swap it out for clear glass, like someone suggested in the comments, and I think that helps a lot. Like, now you can actually more or less see what's actually going by as you whiz up. And I also put an up elevator sign here, just, you know, in case people aren't sure when they first come up. I will eventually have to put a top on this tower. That's actually something I was talking to Fix about. I want to try a technique that he used elsewhere in the Realm of Vasten. If I could pull it off, I'd like to do that in all 4 towers. And then over here, the second tower, it's in an exact replica of this. Both of them, for what they have right now, are 100% done. But this one is a down elevator. So you just hop in, and it sucks you on down. The clear glass here, too. Of course, since it's slower, you get a better vision of what's going on. The thing I like about this one is you can still swim up it, because swimming it up is stronger than the current, which is not true with the up elevators. So I want to work with villagers today. Oh, before I get to villagers, hold that thought. Because of the way the 3 sides of this library are a little different than the 4th side. This is the 4th side. This is the main side. This side is flatter on the surface here, and the reason for that is because the doorway down here is significantly larger, so it altered the size of the wall of the library. This section right here would have stuck out further on the other sides, and maybe I should have done that to begin with, but you know, I didn't. So it just makes a minor alteration to the overall shape of the library walls on this side versus the other sides. We saw that originally when we were working on the murals. This mural is completely flat. The other 3 murals have a slight edge, like a slight, I can't get my elytra to work. They have a slight, like, not indentation, really. I mean, it kind of is an indentation. Depending on which way you look at it from, but you'll see what I mean here. If we come over to this side, it's not flat. You can even see it in the ceiling, you can see it in the floor. It sticks out a little bit on all 3 of these murals. And it does that all the way up, pretty much, until the absolute top. Right up there, I believe, is where I finally, that final circle that I've built up here, I think is where I finally unify them, so that they all have the same exact shape. But these 3 sides are a little different from that one, which is going to make it interesting on this level and that level, because trying to build this on a surface that is not flat is a lot harder than it may seem. So I actually had to go with full blocks right here, full blocks of glass, just these 4 on both sides for this doorway. And I don't think it's like super noticeable, like it's a little bit noticeable, but not like ridiculously noticeable. It looks even weirder, but I think it's still nope, a swim. Really? Swim. You're supposed to be able to go. Okay, fine, whatever. Oh, I can't. I ran out of energy. I'm too tired to swim. You can't make me do it. Okay, let's go. Now we swim. Thank you. All right, up here, it's a little bit different. If we take a look at the glass here, it's really, really weird. Hopefully it still looks okay, but I've got full blocks of glass there, full blocks of glass there. I put in frames in those spots to try and sort of mask it so that the adjustment between the full blocks and, like, right here we've got more full blocks, but I put frames here, or, you know, the panes there as well. So that it still makes the harsh adjustment, but then it's a little less it's a little more subtle, a little less harsh transition between the full glass blocks from one level to the next. I think it works. I mean, it looks a little weird. Like I said, it looks a little weird, but I don't think it's super noticeable. I think it'll do the job. It'll work. I don't think it's gonna be a problem. It just kind of had to be that way in order to fit the door frame in. This door frame itself is actually supposed to be one block further this way, but that would have totally not worked. It would have looked really weird like that. Because I need the door to center itself on this point here, which is out here, instead of, like, right here with the rest of the wall. So it's a little wonky, but I think it should be fine anyway. And the nice thing is, I also figured out what we could do. I previously had full blocks under here. I was like, you know what? If I just extend, because I originally had only one row of these trapdoors, if I just extend them out underneath the entire doorway, I could put sea lanterns underneath, and that'll provide just enough light for there to be no light block, or a block light of 7. So it gets down to 8, but that's the lowest it gets, and that's true over there, over here, over there, and the one below us there as well. So now that we've taken a look at the changes, the additions that I've made, I want to work with villagers today, and I haven't actually been down to check on them in quite a while. I originally had, I think, 4 of them in my breeder, my partially built breeder, and last time I went down, there was only 2 of them left. I don't know what happened to the other 2. I mean, it should be spawn-proof. They should be completely safe down there, but I'm going to grab some resources and head down there. We recently turned mob griefing back on. We still have creeper explosions disabled, ghast explosions disabled, and enderman griefing disabled. I feel like there was something else as well, but I can't really remember what it was. But villagers and mobs in general can now pick up items, or should be able to pick up items, which means a breeder can function. You know, they can harvest their own crops and pick them up and eat them and breed and, you know, be happy. So I'm going to grab a few resources here, and then I'm going to head down there, and we're going to see if we can't finish off, or at least make progress on the breeder. I want to get some villagers starting to populate the area, start getting some good trades. We need to have a zombieification chamber and a purification chamber, which means I'm going to have to do some potion making. I'm going to have to get some gold, some apples. Oh, it's going to be so nightmare-y. And then, of course, a delivery system for the final villagers up here. And I think, if I can, I also want to set up a low redstone iron farm. Because, like I was saying, it's getting really expensive. I'm almost out of iron. I'm really low on iron. So I need to do something like that. So let me, like I said, let me grab some resources and let me head on down. So I've been down here for about, I don't know, 20 minutes maybe, and I got 2 more villagers down here. That was pretty easy to do. I still had the channel built in that I originally used to deliver them. And I also, I mean, they all took their jobs. We got 2 librarians here, a librarian and a farmer way back there, which is just what I wanted, because in my testing, anytime I had more than 1 farmer, they would just end up, you know, throwing food all day long. They wouldn't actually get around to breeding. I found it worked best with 1 farmer and 3 normal villagers of, you know, any profession really to support. And I went and harvested a whole bunch of carrots because he wasn't harvesting any carrots at all. And I found that a little confusing. I was like, they're ready. I mean, the crops are fully grown. It's good to go. Can you please break these and distribute? Well, he wasn't. They were interacting with their items here, their workstations here. So, you know, the librarians were going up to their books and flipping pages. He was going up to his composter and doing the things. And, you know, that was all working fine. But, you know, he wasn't actually getting any food and passing it around. So I broke a whole bunch, got 2 stacks, and tried manually throwing it to them, and they wouldn't pick it up. Now, these villagers, when we updated to 1.14, I went out right away, found a brand new 1.14 village, you know, one that had not been rendered before. Otherwise, it would have been the old 1.13 village type of village anyway. And so I found the village, gathered all the villagers into one house, like, right away, immediately. There wasn't any waiting around. A lot of that, I believe I showed on camera even. And I brought them over here eventually. And I don't see how they could possibly have their inventories be full. It just doesn't make sense that they would be. So my only conclusion is that villager griefing must still be turned off, basically, which prevents them from picking up or anything like that, or breaking the food themselves. I have noticed that they change beds a lot. Do they do that normally? I don't remember seeing villagers swapping beds a lot, but they're swapping beds a lot. But they do have their professions. I mean, as far as the breeder itself, it should be functional. We just need them to be able to pick up and distribute food. Otherwise, there's no way, realistically, to get them to breed. Which is kind of a problem. I did message Fix and said, hey, are we sure the mob griefing has been turned back on? Because these guys ain't doing the thing, you know? They're being stubborn. But I guess while I wait to find out more about that and troubleshoot why it's not working properly, I was thinking we might as well come down here and figure out the delivery system. So what I want to do here is I want there to be water. I have my buckets here, and I put an infinite water source here. Oops, that was a full one. There we go. I want to be able to easily funnel them down a passage without very much interaction from me, essentially. I want it to be mostly hands-off. I want to break those too, and I brought a whole bunch of resources in case I would need them. Let's see. Glowstone. I have a lot more sea lanterns, but I guess I want to be consistent, so we're going to use glowstone. And do that. Only place we probably won't be consistent is I have some brown glass upstairs, but not a whole ton, so I'm just probably going to use clear if I run out of brown. So what I'm going to do is put in water here, and water here on the third section as well. Now, part of the problem here is if they come along in here, they kind of sink and then they just don't move, which isn't a good thing. So what I need to do, I think, is set up some signs like this, one after another, that prevent that from happening, so that the water source that's right here, because that is a water source, will continue to flow them this way. And then I need to do the same thing on this side. So, well, I guess I need to get my buckets full of water again. So, it's really hard to see and describe this with the shaders because you can't even really see the water. It's really hard to anyway. But I'm going to do my best. So, get up there, get up there. Oh, there we go. Alright, so there we go. We've got water in all the spots now. So it should send you to the central channel, and then you'll drop down a little, and then you'll continue to flow, which is perfect. Excellent. And it should have, in theory, eventually send you all the way down here. That is the desired outcome anyway. And at some point, we need to introduce them to a Mr. Zombie. That's what we need. We need a Mr. Zombie. And then we need to get some way for them to go from down here all the way back up to the surface. I think this room here is finished. They fall in, yep, that's about right. And it sends them down this way, yep, that's about right. It gets really slow right here. Do you see that? Do you see how fast I'm sliding and then, like, in the bloop, I just slow down significantly. Is it because I'm on stone, or is it because the water is that much deeper? Ugh, I can't get back up. Alright, I'll just put that there. Give me some glass. And there we go. Now is it still like that? Yeah, it still is. I think the water must just be higher for some reason. Because I'm pretty sure this is a water source right there. Yep, that was water. Okay, that's what I thought. I was pretty sure that was I was like, it shouldn't be coming from beneath the signs. That's the whole reason that's the whole point of having signs here. I think what it's doing, though, is it's automatically connecting with this water up here and making it seem like there's more water than there actually is. So maybe what I need to do, if I can... I mean, we're down at Y8, so we don't have a lot of space left to go before we run into the bedrock. Can I have... Well, actually, that's probably fine enough right there. So it'll drop down... Oh, dear. It's completely filled it up? Why? It shouldn't do that. It shouldn't do that. Oh. Well, hang on. It's because I need to put glass right here. So now they should fall down one block. And, wow. Well, it's still going at a pretty good pace, I guess. It's going at a decent enough pace, I think. So, here we go. Go down a little bit. Yep, it's still moving pretty well. Alright, good. So, I guess I need to dig this space out here. I wish my beacon went all the way down here. It doesn't, though. That's fine. I'm not too fussy about the appearance down here. I don't know. I'll take you. Let's see. I need to introduce them to a zombie. I have an idea of how to do that. I just don't know. Let's see. Okay, so the water pushes them here. If I put a zombie right here, I want to be able to shove the babies. See, the idea is that they're all going to come down here as babies. That's the only way they can fit through that hole in the first place. They'll come through here. They're going to get zombieificated or die, whichever one happens. And because they're going to be so small, I want them to then go underneath here. So, like, the zombie will be, like, right here. But I want the babies to be able to get zombified and then go past him. Although, now that I think of it, what if he isn't able to zombify them before they... before they go under. Let me work around with this and see if I can come up with something. Alright, well, it has been a while, and it has been kind of like a laggy while. Like, frame rate wise, I'm doing perfectly fine, even with the shaders and all that running, but... oh boy, is the tick speed abysmal. So I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the episode here, but first I want to show you the progress I made. So I've got the water chamber completed, and this is my little way back up infinite water source. Over here, I've got a double sticky piston with the glass. It's currently not extended, and it's hooked up. If we go over to here, it's hooked up by this redstone line to a daylight sensor all the way down there. That's on the other side. Like, it's right now we're underneath the library, and as opposed to digging a hole through the library, I just dug a hole to the outside of the library so that it had access to the sky. So that's good. And let's plug that back up. So what's going to happen is at nighttime, this is going to shut, it's going to close in there. So all my villagers are going to be filing through here and dropping into this holding chamber until nighttime. And then these are going to extend, which in theory should make them believe that they no longer have beds because they can't pathfind. Honestly, I don't think they should be able to pathfind to it anyway. They should be able to forget they have beds regardless. But I put in the piston just in case. It should help reinforce that. Now down here, I have a dispenser, and it's got a bucket of water in it. So if we come up here, I've got this little bucket, or this little button here. So I click the button, and the water very slowly dispenses because the tick speed is ridiculously low. It's currently not shoving them all the way into the corner. I'll have to probably nudge that out a little bit. I'm not sure. I'll just have to just slightly adjust the flow of the water so it does go all the way to the corner. The idea, though, is that the water won't be out during the normal operation. So all our villagers will just be collecting in this pool until we decide to come down here and do something with them. And when we come down here, we'll be able to use that button to shove them into that corner. However, before we shove them into that corner, we want to do something else first. We want to release a zombie in here, let it attack all of them. It's kind of like... I mean, I think we're playing on hard mode, so the rate should be better. I think in hard mode, it should be 100% transformation rate. Whereas, like, over on the Wells Night server, it's like a 50-50 or something like that. But anyway, it's going to infect all of the villagers. If we're not on hard mode, then, you know, some of them would die. With hard mode, I believe all of them should survive. They should all become zombie villagers. And then once they're all zombie villagers, I'll click that button. The water's gonna, you know, eventually, once I fix the flow of the water, it's gonna shove them all into the corner. I may just need to make this a 4x4 room, I'm not sure. And what's gonna happen is, once they're all zombie villagers, they're all crammed up into this corner, I'm going to put a minecart here, and you can see how slow the tick speed is going right now. It's going to suck one of them through the corner. It should, anyway. I'll have to test it to make sure it is doing that. It's what it's supposed to do. I may have to tweak the design. And then I have 2 buttons here, Villager and Zombie. And I have them all hooked up to their independent red line sources. So if a villager was in here, it would have just enough oomph to get up onto the top of this. Without a villager, okay, or the tick speed totally fails. I left that sitting there for a long time, and it wasn't going all the way up. I think it has something to do with the way the game is lagging. Because I believe a 2-block slope is what I used over in the Wells Night server. I might have used a 3-block slope. It doesn't really matter, though, especially if I'm going to make this a smaller room so that the water reaches all the way. If nothing else, I'll probably just put a wall, move this wall here over one, which means this would be here, and it would be longer anyway. So regardless, I should be fine. I'll just have to tweak with the exact dimensions. The purpose, though, is that the minecart won't go up onto this block unless it has the villager in it, or a zombie villager, whatever. And then it's going to plop down here. Now, this is not powered. If I click the villager button, and it stays on for like 5 or 10 seconds or whatever, you can see it's now powered, and it's going to send the villager along this route. Now, it's currently dead ending. The way the rails turned out is a little weird. They have a preferred direction, so this rail prefers to be facing in that direction as opposed to this one. So it's going to send them that way. I would have preferred it to be this way. It would have been a lot easier, because I want to send my villagers this way, and I want to send my zombie my non-villager zombie that way, so he can be cycled back into this room here. But I'm going to have to sort of switcheroo it. So my zombie villagers are going to go this way, and then if I click this button, this actually has 2 things hooked up to it. It's feeding this, but it's also feeding this right here with this line, which feeds down this way. There's, let's see, somewhere down there, I've buried it up, I can't find it now. Down below us somewhere, the line connects to both this. I believe it's actually, yeah, right here. See, you can see it's splitting. One is going that way, and the other one is turning off here to the left. So it's hitting this, and it's powering this. And for the duration of those 5 or 10 seconds or whatever, this right here will turn to face this way. So if we click it again, this is powered, and this is turned this way, and when it deactivates, it goes back to its default location. So now I have a way where once I have an entity in my minecart, I can take one look at it, be like, okay, you're a zombie. I'm going to click this. He's going to go along this route. He's going to go up here, and it's going to cycle him back around into the chamber for, you know, the next round of villagers. So if it's a normal zombie villager, it's going to pick him up, and it's going to send him into a new holding chamber I'm going to have right over there. Then I'm going to hop over there, and you don't want to go too far away, otherwise they're going to despawn. So it all has to be really compact. So the holding chamber is literally going to be on the other side of this wall here. I'm going to go in there, splash him with potions of weakness, give them all golden apples. They'll all become happy little villagers who are going to love me because I was the one who saved them. Which will help with my trades. It won't help with anybody else's trades, but it will help with mine. And well, I'm the librarian. I'm making it. Somebody's got to be the one to have the great discount. And if nothing else, I can trade things for other people. If we get an emerald source going, I can go in and just buy bunches and bunches of books and put them in a chest for everybody else. It's really not that hard. Ultimately, I'm going to send the villagers in here, going to get them cured, and then I'm going to send them upstairs. I still have to work out that design, and I have to work out the design to get the zombie back in here. But yeah, we're pretty much out of time for this episode, and the tick rate is so terrible right now. It's making it really hard to get accurate readings on the redstone. For all I know, this might not actually last for 5 or 10 seconds. This could just be the lag playing games with me. So I think I'm going to go ahead and call the episode here. I hope you've enjoyed it, even if it's been a little of an unusual episode. So just let me know what you think about how the zombie and the villager thing is coming along, and what you think about the details that I've thrown on the library for now. If you have any suggestions for more details, or even suggestions for the villager thing, let me know that too. And I guess I'll see you next time. So until next time, I hope you have a fantastic time, and I'll see you later. Bye!